Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Matthew, aka the Nuclear Cyborg. It is currently 12:12 p.m. here on December 20th. So we got about 5 days to Christmas, or about 5 days. We got exactly 5 days to Christmas, and as you can see, I'm kind of rocking my Santa shirt here. Uh, Today I wanted to do another video. It's been a while, and since I don't really have a theme, for my channel, I just kind of like jump on certain things. I do like a lot of Star Wars. I do like a lot of fragrances on my channel and stuff like that. But I don't necessarily have a theme like some people do here on YouTube, and so I just kind of like bounce back and go from one thing to the other. So today, as you saw from that little intro, I'm going to introduce you to another one of my hobbies. Is that I do like to shoot guns, and I'm not going to say that I have a collection or that I ever necessarily had a flare for them, but recently a spark has been lit, and so my brothers, they work at a gun store, and around Thanksgiving of this year, we went there to just check it out, and I'm a big fan of well, I like them. Just think they're such pretty guns, and maybe pretty is not a term that you would use when describing a gun. Guns really need to be practical and self defense and all that stuff, but guns that I really think that are pretty, and I'd say the Kimber here. I bought a Kimber, and I have the date that I actually purchased it here in the box. But just show it off right quick before I move on. So I bought a Kimber, and we were there when we were there checking out my brother's new job and all that stuff. And so from a distance, I looked over at the gun case, and I said, excuse me for a minute. I'm gonna go check out the Kimbers. It's like I said, I can tell what Kimber firearms are from a distance. That's how, they just really appeal to me. They're really good looking, my kind of pretty, I guess you would say. If I had a girlfriend, this is what she'd look like. My kind of pretty. But this is the Kimber Micro 9. Let's see. Check back here in the box. Here, I still got the receipt in here. So there's the receipt. Let's see. This was purchased my birthday month in August. August 29th of this year. I purchased this gun, and one of my brothers sold it to me. The brother that worked there sold it to me. So that's nice. So yeah. So I just want to kind of like show off this firearm right here. Now the very first thing that we want to do is, of course, you already see that it's in the it's in the slide back position. So but first thing you want to do is also when you're showing off a gun like this, you always want to make sure that it's clean. So have it in this position to show that it's clean, but that there's no round inside. But I'm gonna let the slide go. So pulling the slide back, you can see there's nothing in the chamber, and there's no magazine in there, so the gun is clean. There's nothing in there, and the safety is on just in case. But that's the gun that I purchased, the Kimber Micro 9. As I was saying just a minute ago about how I can just recognize these guns from a distance. I saw the display case, and actually the one that caught my eye was a black finish all over the slide, the frame, and all that, and the handle. It was all black, and then the barrel inside right here was gold. that's the one that actually caught my eye. But this is the one that I actually ended up going with because this has got like a three-tone color going on. The handle is black. The frame is kind of like a gunmetal gray, and then like the barrel inside is like a copper color. So it had three tones. This is the one I went with, and it's a 9 millimeter round. So let's see. This is the one that I just checked. This is the round that I use. I just checked before I started this video to make sure that the weapon was clean. That's the round. Hollow point. Now, I'm going to try to break this down and put it back together here on camera. The gun, I haven't shot. I've put about 1,000 rounds through this gun already. I really like this gun. This is my carry gun as of now. But I put about 1,000 rounds through here, so it probably was pretty much broken in. But I haven't shot it in a couple of week or so. So it's pretty clean. So I just want to be able to like break it down for you and then try to put it back together. Putting it back together is actually the hardest part. I might have to do a few takes to get this firearm back together, but taking it down is really not that hard. So that's what we're going to try to do next. I want to show off this gun, and let's see the receipt. Actually, this receipt might be for something else because the price on there is only $15. That's actually the only receipt that I see in the box here. So I'm not sure what happened here. Maybe this was for ammo or something. But I don't know. I haven't looked into this box, since August, so it was placed in here. I haven't taken anything out. So, but this is not for what I paid for it because it was a pretty significant price for this firearm. That's why it's Kimbers are expensive. They look nice, and as far as I know, it shoots well. But these are kind of expensive because it was around $1,000 for this firearm, and for a 9mm, it is kind of heavy, which again is probably a good thing because it helps with the recoil and all that stuff. But enough of that. Let's really try to break this down now, and then we'll see if we can put it back together in a relatively short time. So anyway, that's what's next. We're gonna break it down. Okay, here we go, guys. We're gonna try to break this firearm down. Now it's gonna be a little tricky because I'm not sure exactly. The camera's reversed here. See, I'm speaking into the camera in that way, and you're watching me this way. And so I'm just not sure if I can get the angle exactly right. I'll try to do my best here. But since the slide is back, we're going to rack the slide. Maybe adjust the camera here a little bit away from me so maybe you can get the gun a little bit better. Okay, so on this, let's see, is it this side or this side? This side here, the side that has the opening where you can see 9mm where the barrel is. You have this little thing this little button right here that you can see. This holds the slide, the barrel, and the bottom all together. So what you have to do is you have to grip the back of the gun like this around the hammer that's pulled back here. You have to pull this back, and then you find a sweet spot. I'll see once I find it, I'll see if I can point it out. But well, actually, let's see. Okay, okay, I'm sorry. So, yeah, you see the button on this side, but on this side, you have the slide release. You have to pull that out. You don't necessarily, some people use, I've seen some people use some kind of a tool there to, once you have the sweet, once you get the slide and stuff into the sweet spot, they use a little tool to help push this out. But you really don't need to. You can really just do it with your hands. You just have to find that sweet spot and then pull the slide stop out here. So this is what I mean about the angle and all that stuff. So I'm pulling the on the slide. As you can see, the barrel is starting to pull back, or the slide is starting to pull back, and you can see a little bit of the barrel being exposed. So you just got to pull it back, and you just got to just grip that slide stop and keep pulling it back until you find that sweet spot, and the slide will come right out. Let's see. And keeping your grip on here is hard. On this side too, okay, this side where the slide stop is, you have this little little indentation right there. That's where you have to keep your eye. It's like you have to line it up like right here. So it's a little difficult, but see, once this you pull this back, and the that's going to be about right here, about where the end of the slide stop is. So let's try this again. You pull it back. Also, you can see inside as you're pulling it back. You can see into that little half circle. I can't really see it now because it's kind of dark in here. My office is not lighted in the best light, but you just pull it back. There is a little like you can see in there eventually. I don't remember it being, again, I don't remember it being this difficult. So these are not, I mean, I used to have a Glock, and like the Glocks were so darn easy to take apart and put back together. The Kimber here is not so easily, taken apart and put back together. So that's why it takes some trial and error. Let's see here. Okay, so I have that little half circle here in about the center of the. Oh, here we go. About right there. If you can see it, can you see it? I'm hoping you can see it. Right there. It's almost to the end of the slide, and the little slide stop comes right out, and you can see that on this side. That's where the little dot was. And on this side is the slide stop, so it comes right out, and then the slide comes right off, and of course, and then you got the bottom. So again, this gun hasn't been shot in a while, in about 2 weeks, so it's relatively clean. So I'm not going to take it all the way apart. The hardest part of putting this thing back together is the spring. Again, that might be the hardest part on every single pistol, but this one is really, really tough. As I was pulling that slide back, you might have noticed that the pin was extended a little bit. Let's see if we can put this back on real quick. I could show you. Okay. So as you see, I'm pulling back on the slide here, and you can see right here, the little pin is sticking out. So what you have to do, when you're putting it back together, you have to place the spring and the guiding rod into it so far, and it's got to stick out a little bit, so you can place this other section this part right here up against here. So it's really difficult. You know what? I'll give it a try. That's what we'll try next, and I'm not sure how many takes it will try see to get this back on. It's relatively easy to get off, but to get it back on is the hard part. So we'll give it a shot here. So let's try that next. Okay, guys, here we go. We got the this camera's not the best since I'm filming from my Mac Pro laptop. It's not the best to do this, but okay, as you can see, okay, we have this slide and the spring right here. So again, getting it out is relatively easy. Just use caution because it's a spring, and of course springs, they can spring back and catch you in the eye. So here you just pull back and it comes right out, the guiding rod and the spring, and then you have the barrel that comes right out too. So that was taking apart, like I said, relatively easy, but then again, this is the hard part. The barrel goes right back in there, but then you have to, as you're putting the spring back in, there's nothing to hold the barrel in place, so you have to hold it yourself and put the spring back in. So that's what makes it difficult. You kind of like need a third hand or third arm. So here we go. We'll try to put this back together. Now you have the spring and the guiding rod here, so you're gonna put it in. Okay, this side goes inside the barrel. The spring, is going to go inside that way, right here. So you start with the spring side, and then the guiding rod comes towards the end. So you insert the spring side first into that little hole, and this is where you get the hard part, because you gotta press this in, and then you have to, the guiding rod has to go through all sections of the spring. So this is the hardest part. Once it's through that spring, then you got to press it enough to get the guiding rod to pop out of this little section right here. And the teeth right there, you can see right there, the teeth right there of the guiding rod are face down, has to go up against the barrel. So let's try it again. This, like I said, this is the hardest part. Okay, I think this rod is through every section of the spring, so you need a lot of hand strength. Oh, I think I might have gotten it easily. Did I get it easy? Oh wow, I got it easy that time. You see the guiding rod is poking out a little bit. We try that again and see if I can catch it on camera. I'm left-handed, so that's another thing here too about this. So my hands might be blocking this. So pressing up against that hole again, trying to get the guiding rod through the sections of the spring. Okay, did I get it? I think I got it again. I might be loosening it up because I've cleaned and put this thing together at least 6 times already. So maybe I'm starting to loosening it up. It went back in there pretty easily. Wow. I'm very surprised. I really am very surprised about that, how easy that was that time. Because like I said, it was very difficult first few times. But since I've probably put it in there at least half a dozen times by now, maybe I'm starting to wear down the spring just a little bit, or make it kind of easy. Or my hands, muscle memory or whatever you want to call it, it's just working easy for me. So, wow, I'm really surprised that works so well this time. So that's the hard part. So now that we got the slide, and the barrel, and the guide rod back all together, all we gotta do is place it back onto the base here. So you have just like every pistol, you have these little slides. So you have these slides here on the bottom section here, and the slides here on the top slide. So we just have to, the tracks, just place them in there. Okay, and then start gunning it back. Now it's on. Another thing that you have to do is right here, where the spring is, where the spring and the guiding rod, excuse me, and the barrel are. Once it gets to this point, you have to kind of like press this up with your thumb. It's kind of caught. It's kind of caught right there. These two. If you can hear that noise, you know they're clashing together. You can't. So you have to push the guiding rod up a little bit. Okay. Now that the slide is on, we also have this little. This is I'm not exactly sure what that is, but you have this little piece right here. Right there. You have to press this down. Let me see. So you see my finger there? I'm pressing this little thing down. You have to press this down so you can get the slide over top of it. So press that down and you press the slide. Yeah, I got it. Okay, so now it's back on. Now we have to place the slide stop back in there. So just like we did with the taking it off, here's the slide stop. Right there. Okay, so this little thing, this was the button that was sticking out on that other side, and then this is where if you pull back the slide, and that's the catch. So we have to pull this back again to where that half circle. So you can push you can push this right in. You can push the little button in one side. And let's see. You can see. Can you see it? I can't. Yeah, it's hanging. Yes, you can see it's hanging down. You know. So right there. This is what I mean about the angle here. So you just be a little bit careful so you don't scratch it. But pull this up into place. And all you have to do is you just really have to pull the slide back again, gripping it with your hand. It's my right hand. It's this hand that I'm gripping it with. And then just pull this back. And eventually you'll get that sweet spot again. And the slide and the button, the slide will go back in right there. You don't know if you heard that little, but it snapped right in there. And then just let go of the slide. Then you just want to make sure that it's in there. It's in there. Pulling it back a few times. There it goes. This is the Kimber Micro 9, and wow, I'm very surprised. Very surprised that disassembly and reassembly that went so easy this time. It'll be really good the next time I go to the range, because every time I go to the range, once I am done shooting, I go to the members lounge and I clean my guns every time. So the guns are always clean. Nothing is in the way to get them to shoot whenever if ever you need to do it for a self-defense. If you need to pull this out for self-defense, you need it to work every single time. And so I make sure that it's always clean. And here I'm going to show you this right quick. Put my finger on it. So it's right here. This right here, that's the safety. The gun is empty, as you can see. There's no magazine, and we've already broke this down, so we know there's nothing in the chamber. But this is the safety. Now this is my first gun that I've had an external safety to, so which is really good. So if you if you're gonna take somebody down, and so this doesn't have a red switch, or this doesn't have like a red portion on it. Some guns that have an external safety, when you have it down into, this is where it's going to fire when the safety is off. Down is off. It'll have that little red marker there to indicate that it's active. This doesn't have it, but again, the riddle, clue, what have you, when you place the safety down, when the safety is down, you can take somebody down. That's when you're going to take somebody down, or you mean to. But when it's up, it's in safety mode. The trigger will not, see, I'm pressing the trigger, will not engage. And so that's that. I'm very sorry. I was like, wow, I'm very surprised how easy that was this time. So that's I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've seen some other gun channels, and so it was like on YouTube. So if they can do it, I can do it. And from a consumer standpoint, and of course those other channels are consumers as well, but and this might help my channel, because I got everybody's got hobbies. Excuse me. This is another one of my hobbies. Why do something I've noticed as I've grown up? Why do hobbies have to be so expensive? It doesn't matter what hobby. It doesn't seem like whatever hobby I get into, they're always expensive. And so, like I said, firearms. I guess if you buy them new, maybe if you get them used, they don't have to be as expensive. But I bought these new. I always want to buy mine new, and I always want to buy American made. So this is a Kimber or American made. Let's see here. Let me get some more light. From Troy, USA, AL. What is that, Alabama? So Troy, AL, USA. So I think that's Alabama. So like I said, this is American made, and that's what I like. And, I'm a American. I was born here in the United States. I want to support anything made here in the United States. So my other pistol that I plan to also feature on my channel here in the next few days, maybe before Christmas, I'm not sure, is also American made. And so yeah, American made all the way. So alright, so I got a few more final thoughts on this, and they don't in this video. Alrighty guys, just a few more thoughts here on the Kimber Micro 9. As I've already said, I've put about 1,000 rounds already through this gun. I really like this gun. This is my first Kimber that I've owned, because like I said, these are expensive. Kimber is an expensive brand. I don't think I paid anywhere near, I probably didn't pay, I paid less than half, or more than, what I'm trying to say is the Glock that I bought was probably less than half of what this is. I mean, this was close to $1,000 for this pistol. The Glock that I bought way back when was probably under $400, because so I don't know. When I first got into guns, or showed interest in guns, it didn't seem like they were that expensive. Now it seems that they are. The gun that I might feature next time was $600. So I'm like, why are these so expensive nowadays? They just seem like they are. And then it's not just the gun. Once you have the gun, as long as you take care of it, you have it, forever when you decide to sell it, if you decide to sell it, and all that stuff. So you don't have to worry about that gun. Again, general maintenance and to maintain it and all that. But then you have to buy the rounds, and I've been watching this channel called Yee Life, and that's another thing. It's kind of again, I'm not sure if I ever had a gun spark or passion, but like I said, I'm starting to get one now in the last few months, because of the once I bought this gun, and once my brother was working at the new gun store, and I got the membership there. I got a membership there, so I'm able to go to the range anytime I want, and blah blah blah. And I mentioned the membership lounge earlier, so I get to go and use the membership lounge. They have water, they have a TV, they have a place to sit and stuff like that. They have a restaurant and connected to the gun store, and I can even ask the people in the restaurant to bring my food to the lounge if I want. And haven't done that yet, but maybe I will do that in the future. But actually, there's some nice waitresses in there, so maybe not. But anyway, I'm getting off subject here. This is a very nice pistol. I really like this. Very manageable. It seems to really fit my hand really well. It says the one thing I've mentioned it already, but what really strikes me about this pistol is how it's heavier than a 9mm that I would for 9mm it's heavy. It's got some weight to it. So that tells me actually that it's well made. Uh, I'm not really a gun expert, so I've heard about guns to never buy, guns that you are going to look at for first buyers, and what to look for, what not to look for. They're cheap gun. There's supposedly some cheaply made guns out there, and blah blah blah. But actually, I think this is a very well put together pistol. It fires really well. The one thing that I have a problem with is my hands. I'm not sure it's because I got small hands, or maybe my finger is what you might call chubby. I'm not sure. But what I find is that when I go to, it doesn't, not on just on this one, but when I go to put my finger into the slot where the trigger is, I gotta put it. I don't use my whole finger. I don't place my whole finger into the into the gun like that. Mine's the tip. I use the tip of my finger. So I'm left-handed. This is my left hand. So you see the first indentation there in your finger. So I use the tip of my finger to pull the trigger with. Otherwise, this second part from this line right here down to this one, it gets pinched. It gets caught behind the trigger pull, behind the trigger, and it gets caught in there. It gets pinched, and so yeah. I'm not sure why that is. But, I have relatively small hands, and I don't necessarily think you would call it chubby, but it's just that how your finger, in those places are not necessarily chubby, but you do have some skin, not for lack of a better term, fatness there in your finger, and so I just have to be careful. Another thing that I've noticed is that here I got here's one of the magazines that I use, and something that I find that's weird, I don't understand, is that sometimes putting the round inside they don't always. You have to make sure that they're all pushed back up against the back of the magazine, because sometimes they'll go in. See, and pop. They pop out really easy, so you just have to be really careful. Let's see if I can put this back in with my hands. I did buy a universal magazine loader, but some of these are really hard. I was able to get it with my finger, but trying to show you what I was trying to mean. As you can see there, it's not all the way in. I pulled it back, so as you see, sometimes the bullets don't always fit into these. I don't know. I'm not sure how to describe it, but you just got to make sure that the round is always racked back up against the back of the magazine. And what's nice about this one is it happens on a lot of guns and magazines, but especially on this one, is that it's labeled for you. This is a 7 round magazine. So as you can see, you have 2, 4, and 6 labeled on there to show how many rounds that you've got. Uh, a habit I've quickly developed is that whenever I'm firing, whenever I'm shooting at the range, I always count up or down from whatever you know whatever shot that I'm on. That way I know when I'm about to run out. I'll either go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, now I got one round left. One or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to make sure that So I always know when. And I got several magazines for this gun, and for the other gun that I'm gonna feature in another video. I always also have a several magazines for those. And as Christmas is coming around, I'm hoping to get more magazines for the Kimber here. I had some of those on my Christmas list, so I'm hoping to get more of these. It's just when you're at the range, it's easier to load several magazines. It just helps you go faster, move fast, helps things flow a little bit easier. So you're not. I'm not sure because I'm a member at the range where I go. I'm not necessarily sure if I have a time limit. There, if you're not a member there, you can pay for 30 minutes or an hour. And but the clock I noticed on the little monitor in each aisle, whatever, each space, um, lane. There we go. Each lane does have a little monitor, and the monitor counts down from an hour when I go there. But that's more than enough time. But again, if you just use more than one magazine, and you can also load your magazines before you head to the range. That way, you're not using any of your valuable time at the very beginning to load all your magazines with the ammo. But again, I said I'm hoping to get more of these. I shoot 9mm. These right here that were loaded into my pistol. Is it the same one that's? No, the one I have here is the top one is hollow point. That's the one that's in my gun. I carry one in the chamber. That's what I do. Anybody, there's the pros and cons for each. I carry one in the chamber at all times. But as you can see, the second one that's going to be racked has the little red tip. So this one is hollow point. It's just plain hollow point. It's got nothing in there. This will expand on impact. But this one, the second one that's going to be racked, chambered, has that little red tip in there. So the tip upon impact is supposed to, as I understand it, press into the bullet, and just like a hollow point, it's supposed to expand. The red tip presses into it as it expands to make it expand more. If I said that right, if that makes sense. Now this is not a subject that I usually talk about on my channel. As I said at the beginning, I don't really have a common theme. I think I would probably say Star Wars. Any Star Wars related stuff was probably my theme here on my channel. But once I get done with something, I don't really have something else to talk about. So I can go months at a time without making making a video, and my channel is not really that big anyway. So I guess maybe it doesn't really matter. But here we go. This clip here is just about 12 minutes. So I think I've said all I really needed to say. This is a really good pistol. I would look into Kimber's. Again, if you're really passionate about American made, I know a lot of people say Glocks are the way to go. I used to have a Glock, and I might have. I've started a gun list. I've started a gun list of guns that I want. Actually, Glock is not on there, but I might put a Glock on there. But excuse me, sorry about that. Um, I don't know how many different pistols you need because I actually have a pistol on another pistol, 9mm pistol on my gun list. Uh, it just again just like this one and how attractive I think it looks. The other one that I'm looking at, a Sig Sauer, actually has caught my eye because of the way it looks. And again, some people would say that guns are not supposed to look pretty; they're supposed to be practical, you know, for self-defense and blah blah blah. But just the way it is. You don't. You always, no matter what it is, or from even food or whatever else you might buy, you look at it because it looks nice. You know, an apple might be edible, but if you're going to, would you get one that's rosy red and clear and free of blemish, or would you get one that again, good to eat, but it's got some splotches all over it, and it's just pleasing to the eye, and whatever's pleasing to the eye is what people tend to go with. So if you have the money, I would definitely look into this, and I think it would make a very good self-defense gun. Like I said, I love taking this to the range and shooting it. The only thing about going to the range I've noticed since I joined is that usually when I go there, I shoot about 250 rounds per pop every time I go. And then it's not only that, was those expenses, buying rounds and whatnot, but also I tend to eat at the restaurant every single time I go there because, as I briefly mentioned earlier, they have some nice looking waitresses there, and also the food is there. Food there is awesome. So anyway, I appreciate you watching, clicking on this video. Thank you for watching this video. If I really, since the angle and since the lighting is not so well here in my office, this is where I normally film my videos. This is my office, and I only have one headlight just right above me here with the fan in here, so the lighting is not all too well, and so I'm not sure. And with the angles, as I mentioned earlier, since you're looking at me from your direction, and I'm looking this way towards the camera, and then trying to move the gun around to show you different angles. On this side of the gun, you have the slide stop. On this side of the gun, you have that little button where the slide. That's the part of the slide that you had to press into this little hole here. So if there's anything any questions I can answer, comment those down below. Drop any other comment down below. If you clicked on this video and found it informative, if you like the video, click like on the video. If you're new to this channel, please watch some of my other videos. Again, there are a lot of fragrance. I got a lot of fragrance reviews because I have a fragrance collection too. I'm a big Star Wars fan. As you can see, we have Grogu here in the back, and these two lamps. Let's see. So maybe not this one. Maybe it's another one. Well, these two lamps do work. The remotes, the battery on the remote might be dead. Let's see. No, I got two remotes, so maybe I can use one. Yeah, I think the batteries on these remotes are dead. Show you right quick. There's one. two. So I got these two lamps in the back here, and it actually makes looking at the camera a little bit worse because it gives you that little bit of a glare. So, but you can see there, I got some pictures. There on that picture, I've kind of placed. There's a place you can go to. You can kind of insert yourself into the Star Wars. Let's turn the lamps off. You might be able to see it better. Yeah. It's a place you can go to. You can insert yourself into Star Wars pictures. So it's not me. You can't really see it that well. It's kind of blurry, but that's me with a purple lightsaber. And that was my first dog that I told him to give Yoda ears. I expected them to be green like Yoda, but they made one brown, made one white, just like his picture. You send in a picture of you and your, if you want to, your other family members or dog. And then that's either a Star Destroyer or something out there in the background. It's that, and then there's another picture there. So, I mean, this is my Star Wars universe right here, my office. Anyway, again, thank you for watching. I appreciate if I've never done a video like this because I was just kind of, I'm not afraid is the word to use, but cautious, I guess, because there's other gun channels on YouTube, obviously. So I don't know why I was so cautious or hesitant, but it's just letting people know that you have a gun, that you believe in the Second Amendment and all rights. It's a very heated subject nowadays, and so I guess that's why. But then I've tried to always do my own thing, even with the not really caring about the opinions of others. Okay, so that's that. I tend to ramble a lot. That's something that's a common theme here on my channel. But so like, comment, subscribe. I very much appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I hope if I don't make another video before Christmas, I hope everybody that does watch this, clicks on this video, has a Merry Christmas. Again, it's the 20th, right? My phone says the 20th here, but the calendar I haven't changed. It still has the 19th on it. There we go. So that my calendar there has the 20th. My phone says the 20th. We're good. So it's the 20th of December. We got 5 days to Christmas. So I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Thank you for watching. Bye.